this is the footbridge at the takeout, and just for reference, looks like the river is flowing just at the base of the third log on the abutment on the far side, the river right side. This is the downstream side of the bridge, obviously. So the one not so fun part is that you'd have to carry your boat uphill for about 5K to get to Kinney Lake, which is, I believe, the put-in. Obviously, it's not so bad since the trail is pretty good. However, it is all uphill. So one of the spectacular things about this creek in particular is the fact that it runs off the glaciers from the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies, which is Mount Robson, which probably is right about there, up in the clouds. But just shy of 4,000 meters. It's pretty impressive when it's clear. So this is the trail about 30 meters past the 4-kilometer marker. That's 4 kilometers from the takeout. And that's the put-in here, this little ramp into the river. So this is Robson Creek, right where it leaves Kinney Lake. And you can already see some logs hung up on rocks in midstream, obstructing the way downstream. So, yeah, nice little booth, completely obstructed by wood. Flows downstream a bit here. Let me just wander around the rocks here. Basically what happens is the river split around an island in midstream here. Make sure I don't slip on the rock. Splits around this island. Obviously the river left side is completely obstructed by wood. The river right side is as well. Although, nah, I don't see anyone getting through there without an awful lot of luck. The left side's really just one steep drop, and then there's some run-out around this island. The right side goes through a little, sort of a channel, ricochets off the walls of this little canyon here. Oh, yeah. Ricochets off a wicked undercut left turn, and then rejoins the rest of the river once it goes through a bunch more strainers. So yeah, probably a portage. So this upper section's looking pretty good. It's got lots of channels, lots of water over the rocks. There's logs obviously along the side of the river, but not too much in between or in midstream. You just make your way, picking your way downstream. There's a few eddies along the side you can catch to slow your descent. And the best part is it's right beside the trail, so it's easy to scout. About I don't know, maybe a 9-foot drop in Robson Creek. I don't know about this river right line, but personally, I hope I make it through this hole. Just come barreling down the middle and try and boot this and get as far downstream as I could. Probably a few other options there. Actually, the water kind of turns off to the left, so maybe coming over here and down. There's nothing downstream for one. Well, maybe one little hole. So it's pretty clear. Picks up again though, and it goes ripping on down to the next one. So basically a bunch of waves, a few rocks leading into the approach. About a, I don't know, maybe an 8-9 foot drop. Cuts through a ledge. Looks like maybe running off to the left side and trying to boof down into this eddy is probably the ideal. Or just run right down the pipe, paddle hard. Bit of recirculation in this eddy on the right though. Still not too bad. And there's another, it's hard to make out, but there is like a second drop right here. It's only about a 4-footer. The hole below that looks a little sticky. And there's some rocks on the river right side here, so probably again just run off, boof the left, and you're home free. Little safety eddy on the far left. Nice little pool on river right. No obstruction, easy boof, clean lines. Except if you miss that eddy, you have to deal with this. Not exactly fun. So this is pretty much right at the 1 kilometer mark, maybe a little bit upstream. That tree crossing the whole river right there, coming in from the river right bank, followed by obviously big log jam here, although most of it's pretty much held up by this one log on the other side, or 2 logs. I guess this is a big one too. You could probably sail underneath that, but you got to miss this thing. Pretty much going right out into the main flow. And even if you do come off this rooster tail, boof into this eddy, then you have this beast to take care of, to avoid, which is going to be difficult. And even then, once you get down into the main chute there, there's a couple more river-wide logs downstream. Okay, so this is just out from the 1 kilometer mark upstream from the takeout. River-wide log right at chest level there. Looks like it's been there for a while. I don't really want to get any, I can't get any closer, I'll fall in. Looks like there's a hell of a chute there. Just looking in the eddy here, you can see some logs swirling around periodically. There's one now. Downstream it picks up still, and there's another log right there that's going crosses the whole river-wide log right at the top of a chute. So the middle section at least is pretty much out. Again, the one noticeable feature that really stands out on this thing is just the fact that it's absolutely continuous. Just ripping. The gradient on this, I don't know what it is, but it looks pretty insane, and this is comparatively low water. I hate to see it at the end of a hot day in the summer. So this is the approach to pretty much the last major chute, last major rapid on Robson Creek. Bit of a right-hand turn, boulder garden at a right-hand turn. Hard to make out. There's a pile of wood stuffed onto a big boulder on the river left side. There is an eddy over there, so you're probably going to be okay. A bit of a hole in here though. Looks like probably the optimal line because you can see some wood in this lodged against this river right rock. I would go pretty much down the middle and then try and cut right and stick right, try and boof something and basically bump and grind down the right side again. So this is the run out of one of the chutes on Robson Creek near the bottom, really the last major rapid. The rest is pretty much freed on the fly.